Hi Camp Chef pellet grill owners. Recently I upgraded my SmokePro ZG's controller from the OEM controller to a RecTech Wi-Fi enabled PID controller. This controller is very accurate and allows you to control it from anywhere in the world and is very easy to install. Now, obviously, this isn't something that everyone is going to agree with. Some people are purists and want to stay with Camp Chef's original OEM parts. And there's nothing wrong with that. It works pretty good. My issue was I was drifting about 25 degrees plus or minus. This controller has gotten it down to plus or minus 3 degrees, and it has been great. First thing you need to do to remove the existing controller is remove the two screws located at the top and bottom of the controller. Behind this controller are some mullet style connectors. They're just two pins, they snap together, pull apart, makes it real easy. There are 4 of these screws on the bottom of the hopper. There's one here, 2, 3, and 4. I like to leave this one in to kind of give it a hinge. So I'm going to remove this last one real quick and I'll show you the inside. Alright, screw is out. So now we'll just pull this down. Probably have a little bit of dust from your pellets in there. And let's look underneath here. So inside you have these Molex style connectors, and it's real convenient because they're labeled A, B, C, D. All you have to do is remove those. And once you remove the 2 screws from the front, you can pull your Camp Chef controller right off. So as you see, here we have our A, B, C, and D connectors. And again, they just pull right off. You have a male side and a female side. These connectors are what allow the RecTech controller to go in so easy. All you have to do is buy this harness, which I'll provide a link in the description, and you can plug them right in. The color codes are a little different, but they work out pretty good. If you see on the Camp Chef, you got a purple and white, red and white, orange and white, and a black and white. The harness for the RecTech one also has purple, it has red back there, and then you have a yellow and blue. So I just kind of make yellow, orange, and blue, black. It works for me. The big difference in this harness is it does not have these terminals, and this is one thing you'll have to purchase separately. I was able to get these ones off of Amazon for like less than $10 for a bunch of them. So I got a few of them sitting right here. All you have to do is cut the 5-pin connector off of your harness, and then you just attach these, strip the wires, attach these to it, crimp them on, and then you just plug them in. Now, RecTech's board is really nice because it's labeled with your common, your igniter, your auger, your fan, and at the bottom there you have hot. To the right side of the board here, there's the 2 RTD connections. I've been told you don't really need to buy the RTD, but if you do buy it, it comes with these terminals on it already. You may need to cut these off in order to pass it through the existing holes of the Camp Chef. I'll show you here in a minute what I mean, but you may need to end up drilling it about 1/2 inch. I went ahead and I purchased the RTD probe. I don't think it was 100% necessary, but I did talk to one of the people at RecTech, and they told me that there might be a proprietary resistance on them, and so it might be necessary, but I've heard other people say they didn't really need it.
The total price for the controller, RTD, and harness was about $130, so I figured it was well worth it in the end.
There are two holes that you have to feed this through. One is right here on this bracket where the screws are, and then there's one underneath here where the wire goes through. The terminals that come with it are too big to fit through that hole, so either you'll need to make that hole bigger, probably about a ½ inch wide, or just cut off those connectors, and since you bought some terminals already, you can just crimp on the new connectors. If you go to the back of your Camp Chef hopper, there's always this diagram on here, which is really nice. Just like on the back of the RecTech controller, this is labeled. It has pictures of the auger, the blower, which is what RecTech calls the fan, the hot rod, which is the igniter on the RecTech controller, and then you have your power. Again, black is for power, that's your hot. Red is for your auger motor. Orange on here is blower, which is what we're going to make yellow. Purple for your hot rod or igniter. And then you have your RTD. Again, the RecTech harness already comes with the Molex connectors, so you just made up your colors. Your purples and your reds will go together. Your yellow will go with your orange. Your blue will go with your black, and the white will go with white.
These harnesses are nice and long, so you can set them on your shelf if you got one. And all the terminals on here, they crimp on really easy. I just used one of those yellow crimper strippers that you can get at like Home Depot or Harbor Freight or wherever. They all went on really easy. Just make sure with the RecTech connections you have them in the right configuration. Consult the names on there along with the names on the back of the hopper. For the RTD probes, it really doesn't matter their order, they can go in either way, but make sure these ones are correct.
Here is the hole where the Camp Chef controller was, and the Camp Chef controller happens to be a bit bigger than the RecTech one. So what I've done is I created this adapter plate, and I cut a hole in it a little bit bigger than the size of this board, and I'll get some calipers and show you guys how thick that board is. I cut out the plate using a binder divider that I had in a drawer, just some thin metal. This one happens to be made out of steel. You can tell that because it's magnetic, I found out, and there's a little bit of rust forming on it, so I'll probably have to buff that out and paint it with some Rust-Oleum soon. Okay, unfortunately my calipers were having some technical difficulties. I think the batteries did. But using my trusty tape measure here, you can see that the board of the RecTech controller is right about 2.5 inches by right about 5 3/8, so you can go just a little bit bigger than that. For the outer diameter of the plate, I went about 3¼ inches by about 7 15/16. Once you get the controller inside of there, you can mark the holes for the screws. Obviously didn't do a great job aligning everything. Yeah, you could probably get it more centered, but in the end it looks okay and it's functional. It's up to you, of course, how you mount it. Some people have told me they've mounted it actually to this this flap here at the bottom of the hopper. Other people have made really nice acrylic mounts for them, so I just went with what I had available, and you can do the same. Just make sure you have all your wires and everything protected from the elements a bit. I mean, they're not going to be 100% safe. There's holes in this anyway. You're going to get moisture on there, but that's what these things are designed for. Just don't let direct water, rain, stuff like that get on it. One thing to note here is if you see this little gold connector black wire here, this is the antenna that comes with the RecTech. It plugs right into this connection right there, and it's something you definitely need to mount, but you're going to want to wait until you create your adapter plate, because otherwise it's not going to give you a good connection to your home Wi-Fi. I've gone ahead and I've reconnected my antenna. This thing is a little bit of a pain in the butt to get in there. Just be patient, don't bend any connections, and you should be fine. You can go ahead and push this in. Here you have a couple of fans in here. You have your blower right there, and if you see all of these cables in here right near that, so make sure when you push it in you don't wrap any of them around that blade there. And then you have an auger blade in here, which may actually be easier to see from the bottom. It's right there, and as long as you don't touch that with any of the wires, especially like the RTD wires which pass through there, you should be fine. Now I went ahead and I just kept some of these screws reserved. I use the original ones to attach the RecTech controller to my adapter, and then I just robbed two of the ones from the bottom flap to mount into the hopper. Alright, I got the controller mounted. I got this part of the harness hanging down here. Again, I kind of showed you guys where those fans are. If you just kind of tuck this up right in the back corner, you'll be pretty much okay. It'll hold itself fairly well. And then just take this flap, again hinged on that one screw there, and then I just leave this one other screw in there. I just wanted to show you real quick, but one of the nice things about this RecTech controller is it comes with two probe ports and the two probes to plug into it. Of course, unfortunately, these are different than the Camp Chef ones. Or maybe not unfortunate. Those ones, I think we all agree, are pretty much garbage, but these ones have done really well and seem pretty accurate. I'm passing through the same hole and everything on the side. And actually, I've been using these to calibrate. The grill, which if it's something you guys want to see, I can make another video to kind of show you how I've done it. Once you got the power plugged in, this red light should come on. After that, you can actually use the app to get it going. But I'll go ahead and show you on here how you can do it manually. There's a power button right here. You can just press that. It should kick on. I'll show you your set point, show you your actual, and if you have your probes plugged in, I'll show you those. And that's my quick tutorial how to install a RecTech controller on a Camp Chef grill. Thanks for watching, guys.